Number 15. Abdullah Al-Anbari is followed by what he describes as a ghoul when he explores an old neighborhood that was abandoned long ago. His stalker appears to be a silhouette, even under a high-powered light that brightens everything around it.
Bismillah.
It could be someone wearing long flowing robes, or it could be a shadow person. Maybe it's just me, but the ghoul looks much bigger here at 5 minutes and 54 seconds when he sees it again. When it pokes around the corner at 8 minutes and 3 seconds, it seems much larger than the average sized person. Even from down this long hill, you can see this figure is indeed tall and strong looking too, as it lumbers ahead. It looks like the creature is going to follow him all the way home, if he lets it, so Abdullah recites a phrase, at which point the ghoul recoils from the sacred words, or perhaps more realistically, ducks under the window and is not seen again.
له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه.
Was this all planned, or did a phantom really spontaneously follow him? Number 14. A YouTuber named Unnounced posted this trail cam footage he caught while camping at the foot of Maple Mountain in Ontario. For 2 nights in a row, a strange and loud humming noise made him pass out from 8 at night until 11 in the morning the next day. At first you can only see this curly, out of focus object, but it's actually the arm of this giant creature. If it is a costume, it's really good, and I wouldn't even know where to step in. The blob glows pure white as it curiously handles the camera, then its glow extends to the tree behind. Unknowns claims he had no idea what was camping with him those 2 nights. Do you believe him? I certainly do. Number 13. This video from New Britain, Connecticut shows that nowhere is safe for kids anymore, not even their own neighborhoods during the day. This girl is keeping to herself when this gray 4-door vehicle pulls up from behind. I can see at 1 minute and 18 seconds that the window is down, and the driver is possibly leaning out to say something. The car comes to a complete stop, which is suspicious because she has nothing to offer a passing stranger. A moment later, the girl takes off away from the van, and they speed off in the other direction. According to police, this vehicle looked dirty, like it had been taken down a dirt road many times before. The doors could only be opened from the outside. Dan General recently caught this alleged ghost on his doorbell cam. First, a living person walks by his home, followed closely by a not-so-living apparition. It's about the same height as the person in front, so it could just be their trailing after image, but still notice how the phantom stalker actually becomes brighter and gains detail as it steps under the streetlight. The camera also freezes at the 6-second mark, possibly short-circuiting under a surge of paranormal energy. Number 12. They tell you to keep your eyes on the road at all times, because you never know what's about to happen next. Everyone looks like they're driving fine here, but someone is about to make a major mistake, and you'll never guess who. A private plane is pretty much the last thing you'd expect to be cut off by while on the highway. Yet here this pilot is with one wing already touched down. It looks like this dash cam is from an 18-wheeler too, so this was almost an ugly mishap, with massive turmoil I would imagine. I noticed these letters on the side, and was able to trace them back to a manufacturer in Canada. Beyond that, I have no idea where in Canada this took place, or if everyone was alright, so if you have more information about this mysterious event, then please let us all know. Update. I was able to track down the original source of this video.
Just incredible video captured from that dash cam video, and we can tell you that the plane is still here on the property as this investigation continues. And we've since learned that that plane is privately owned. It wasn't a flight school, but the operator was conducting flight lessons for a student.
Number 11. 2 fishermen from New York are on Lake Champlain when they notice a large object is causing a disturbance in the water behind them. Soon, a large creature comes close to the surface but never emerges.
The further mystery of Champ, a legend that swims just below the surface and just out of camera range.
The fishermen say that this is only a small portion of a much larger creature. The lake gets around 20 sightings per year, and this footage was even verified by 2 former FBI agents. Still, with that said, there just isn't enough video evidence to fully convince me, so I'll let you draw a conclusion for yourself. Dozens of fish are pouring out of this ice fishing hole, and no one has been able to figure out why. Listen to this part and try to translate what these 2 men are saying if you can. I think it might be Russian.
Вот так выбирает черт. Подожди, дырку надо сделать, нахуй. Надо славить, пока он... Ну да, покажу, вот есть.
At first, I thought maybe they had used underwater blasts to stun the fish, but you can clearly see that the fish are still moving on their own and appear to be jumping through the hole through their own free will. I have no idea what could cause all these fish to rush to their doom, and from the sound of their nervous chatter, neither do these fishing experts. Maybe the fish are trying to escape a huge predator beneath the surface, or perhaps it is some kind of natural phenomenon beyond explanation. Number 10. It's broad daylight in San Jose, California, when these 2 men creep into the yard wearing black. One of them has on gloves and a hood. The other doesn't bother with a disguise as they enter the home. It looks like they might be unarmed at first, but 47 seconds into the video is when you first see that one of them is holding a blade. At 1 minute and 2 seconds, he uses it to motion to his friend that he is going upstairs. They check from room to room, not bothering to take anything, and not really searching for valuables. And they quickly find a locked door with people inside, 2 women and a baby. The one with his hood up quickly points out that they are not alone. They look ready to run down the steps and out the door, but then they instead decide to try and break into the room, which is now locked. They again look ready to leave, but at the last second, one of them tries to unsuccessfully kick open the door the final time. Finally, they get too nervous and decide to run away. It's hard to tell if they were here to take items or take lives. They walk around with their blades pointing out, and they don't seem to have a bag to carry anything in, so maybe they were doing this for the sheer thrill of terrifying a family. The fact that one of them didn't bother with a disguise makes me wonder if he had no intentions of leaving any witnesses and just didn't tell his friend. Number 9. A YouTuber named The Modern Mombi is sipping her coffee while pumping gas while she notices someone watching her get into her car. She lets it slide until she sees him looking at her again.
But yeah, he keeps beeping us.
She is making a video probably in the hopes that it will make him too ashamed to continue, but he looks straight at her and seems to smirk. It's a weird and creepy expression that he has no excuse to keep making if they are strangers. Maybe he thinks he recognizes her, but if that were the case, staring at her instead of saying hello is rude and suspicious to say the least. Then again, maybe the camera is the only thing keeping him from being more intrusive. He eventually gets in the car and drives away. That's when she realizes she's in her work uniform and hopes he won't be staring at her sometime soon at her job. Number 8. A YouTuber named LaxRebel225 is playing a video game at home when he hears something loudly bust through the front door. He's frantically looking from room to room when finally he hears it making a racket again, this time from the kitchen. When he crosses into the kitchen, nothing is to be found. Instead, he hears it again from behind. I'm not sure why he stomps his foot here. If he's trying to scare the creature away, it doesn't work. LaxRebel does a full circle around his home and ends up standing just outside of the kitchen again. He seems to get a bad feeling and hesitates. That's when this inhuman noise fills his house. The creature seems to say something in a chittering language that almost sounds like an evil laugh. Then it leaves his home, shutting the door behind itself. Maybe I'm just overthinking, but the alien's voice sounds very high quality, like way too good for the average YouTuber to edit into their video with home equipment. As much as I don't want to admit it, I think this video could be real based on the creepy laughter alone. Still, I'd definitely like to know what you think after watching this video. I'm especially looking for the opinions of people who have experience with audio engineering. Number 7. A YouTuber named Maddie Ann thinks she sees something walking around her backyard, so she grabs a camera and a high-powered flashlight and sets out to record it. By the time she gets outside, she doesn't see it anymore, so she starts scanning the yard with her light to see if it will move again. The disfigured and misshapen shadow is what she finds. You can see it peeking from around a tree for a second before ducking back into the darkness. The shadow is not really the right size for a human, and the head appears to be bald and shaped oddly. What's really weird is how the camera captures no features. If this was a person, then you should be able to see more details under the light. After all, the camera is able to pick up the brown color of the tree, so you would think that the person behind it would show some color too. Instead, Maddie Ann passes over a creature with a blank face. I don't think this was one of her friends, though I guess it could be someone wearing a costume with black mesh over the face. A man named Donald Jester uploaded this ghost video from 2003. Nothing is by this table, and then for an instant there appears to be what Donald refers to as a ghost girl. I don't necessarily agree that there is enough detail to tell if this was a ghost or not, let alone if it was a girl, but there is something there. Since this video was taken in December and the front door is open, I guess it could be cold enough to be someone's breath or something else from outside. Number 6. A man makes his way down the street without any clue as to the danger that's about to come straight his way. Everything looks as ordinary as possible, just another day on Stoke Newington High Street in London. There's no possible way you can predict what's going to happen next in this video. It's way too random, so even if you can tell me what direction the thread is about to come from, then I will be satisfied. He makes it past this cafe at 10 seconds, and literally 1 second later the entire roof comes tumbling down in a choking cloud of dust and jagged debris. Bricks litter the street just a few steps from where he just was. If he had done anything besides walk on by, like tying his shoes or looking in the window, then he would have been struck down on the spot with no hope of surviving. I mean, it really couldn't get any closer. The heel of his foot is literally still in the shot as the bricks begin to tumble. Only a psychic could have ever guessed the way this video ends. 3 firefighters are trying to cut a hole in the roof to stick a fire hose through when the weakened structure collapses underneath their feet. Directly under the letter J is where one of them is standing when the ceiling gives. Now the area where they just were is a little more than a square hole, with burning hot heat pouring from below. He barely has enough time to grab onto the ledge. The thin layer of burning insulation is the only thing keeping him from falling below. His equipment is too heavy, and he needs the other 2 to hoist him over. With their vision blurred the entire time, they lay on the ground stunned for a moment, and then walk single file to the ladder, each glad that it's all 3 of them returning and not just 2. Number 5. It's just a normal news day in Cincinnati, Ohio, until a UFO reveals itself in broad daylight.
A nice start to the day, and you take a shot of this, yeah. You know what? No complaint. What was that? Who's that right there? Look at that. Who's that right there? Down the camera?
The stunned news anchor is able to track the fast-moving UFO with his finger until it is completely gone from sight, and his confused reaction is the same as almost everyone who has seen this video since. Some people have tried to explain this sighting as the planet Venus, which is only possible during certain times of the year, but since the UFO clearly travels in front of a building at one point, I don't think that this particular explanation is possible. A YouTuber named Timeless Soon was watching a German television show when suddenly this popped up on his screen.
Professor Schlepfer, an diesem Tag sollte man sich vielleicht...
The UFO hangs around for a bit before silently gliding away.
Jo, nimmer gut.
If anyone speaks German, please let me know what is being said here. Tell me if they give the name of the location, and if this story has anything to do with unusual alien activity at all. Number 4. This YouTube channel is dedicated to finding a local legend known only as the Clover Forest creature. Two friends are investigating an area of the woods where the last sighting was reported when they detect what appears to be a pair of eyes staring at them from across a creek.
Whoa, get down. Oh my god, that's it. I think so.
At first I thought this could just be one of their friends wearing a mask with glowing red eyes, but watch this next part and tell me what you think. The eyes briefly go away and then reappear, which makes me think that this creature is blinking.
No, keep your light on it, keep your light on it.
Soon the Clover Forest creature walks away and is not seen again. It's too bad that they didn't have a high beam flashlight to shine across the creek and solve the mystery once and for all. Still, tell me whether you think this video is scripted or real based on the 11 seconds of video I was able to show. A live news broadcast in Montreal shows a strange flying object in the dark city sky. Pay attention to the area just left of the newscaster.
Je vous conseille d'en profiter puisque pour la fin de semaine, ça pourrait se gâter. Alors évidemment qu'il y a ce système dépressionnaire qui est en provenance du Midwest américain.
Some people say that this is clearly a meteorite, but then again, other people say it's far too large and slow moving to be one. Whatever it is, the object definitely appears to become larger as it draws closer to Earth. Maybe it's burned up in the Earth's atmosphere, and this is it falling to Earth. Either way, we'll likely never know if this was a meteorite or an actual spacecraft. Number 3. These mysterious worm-like creatures were allegedly discovered by some dock workers in Germany. According to this video's description, the bizarre creatures were immediately taken to a nearby institution of ocean research but never properly identified. Let me know if you think this is the creature's mouth here. If so, it looks big enough to swallow an arm. This video was taken sometime in 2011, but I couldn't find any follow-up information. If you know anything else about this video, then please let me know if it's real, and if this creature was ever identified. Number 2. This reportedly leaked video shows the inside of an underground base full of foreign equipment. Rows and rows of what appears to be storage tanks stretch as far as the eye can see, though exactly what's inside is anyone's guess. Look closely at these smooth pods and you'll see that each one contains the dark outline of something growing inside. It looks vaguely human, though its true form cannot be determined. The video's quality is very grainy and looks to be taken at least decades ago, if not longer. Experts have been unable to prove a concrete source for this video, meaning it's probably original. I think that a movie set like this would have cost a lot of money to design, so this is either a very high budget amateur film, or most likely real footage taken by unknown people. Let me know what you think it is and be sure to provide more information if you have any. This video was taken at the Galway Swimming Club in Ireland. It may not seem like much at first, but lion's mane jellyfish like this one can grow larger than a whale and have more than 1,000 poisonous tentacles. Each one can be over 100 feet long. In other words, it's one of the last creatures you'd want to ever see lurking in a public swimming area. Hundreds of these slow-moving monsters have been showing up on the west coast of Ireland, and no one knows why. Marine experts are completely baffled as to what could have changed in the waters to accommodate them, especially in such large numbers. Meanwhile, lion's mane jellyfish are continuing to send swimmers to the hospital, and the infestation shows no signs of slowing down. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because we upload a new scary video every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. Check out what a YouTuber named Aquachigger found growing on the bottom of a river in Williamsport, Maryland. It's a riverbed full of green gelatinous plant life that strangely sways and shimmers. Aquachigger believes he may have found some kind of a brightly colored underwater alien colony. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I certainly do think this is a strange find. Let me know if you have seen anything like it before, and if so, what it could be. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!